been getting familiar with this matchup since it's now in the map pool. I feel like I'm playing the GSL every time I play it, though.
How cool is that Blizzard's actually utilizing these maps? It seems like they were always stuck in their ways of kind of making maps to them, I guess you could say, but really now they're suiting the players. Anyways, jumping into this game, we have our Protoss player from team. Oh my goodness, I hope I get this right. This is from team Arizona, I believe, right? ExO is from Arizona.
I actually have no idea. I'm gonna check that right now. Just
That's a really bad question to be asking, but we have our Protoss player ExO. He is a Masters player going against Weaklink. He's actually a random player, but choosing Terran in this matchup, so that must be his preferred build against Protoss. Being a random player, we'll have to see what he pulls out. I know a handful of random players that love to uh, just do cheese for every race they go against, but we'll see what he pulls out here. The cards are stacked against him though, with the rankings. The stats, at least, are kind of make his name prevalent, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and I guess it could be also this map. He might have a specific strategy set out for this map because I believe they do pick. What did they do? I think they pick the map pool, and then they just pick which player wants to play each map, and that's how they put the players together. I believe that's how the brackets go together. I could be wrong, but maybe he just has a specific strategy that he likes for Cloud Kingdom. Maybe he's been practicing since the new ladder pool's been out. Who knows? But I'm interested to see exactly what's going to go on.
Now, looking in the chat, everybody's yelling at me that EXO is from Texas, Weaklink is from Arizona. So now we have that figured out, which is good. I love Arizona. My grandfather lives in Tucson. Spent a lot of time there. It's pretty nice. Super cheap clothes, man. Super cheap during the summer. It's ridiculous.
I think that's a lot of the states, though, but yeah. Sure. Alright, so we do see... Yeah, go ahead.
We got a probe from EXO diving in here, just kind of looking around. And no orbital yet, interestingly enough, looking like he's going to get that 16th SCV out. I wasn't watching the exact build order, but yeah, it looks like this is kind of becoming a little more common, delaying the orbital by a tiny bit to squeeze out one more SCV. And should be getting the orbital any second now. Is stacking a lot of money. There we go, morphing into the orbital.
I guess.
A little bit of nerves coming to play, I'm sure.
Exactly, and we do see an interesting wall by EXO. I think I like it, especially to any early cheese. He kind of has a bit of an early wall off. I don't know, and then they have to go all the way around the back. I don't know, interesting. And then you got the two pylons. Just everything's bulked together. It's really hard to snipe those pylons if he did push in early and tried to unpower buildings. And we do see a command center coming down by Weaklink, so looks like he's doing that early expand build.
Yeah, one rack expand, brave, but can definitely set you up for a good position in the later game. Most likely going to follow this up with 2 racks and then get out another, get out some gas. But it looks like the SCV's being harassed, but he will scout that Nexus. So it looks like we're going to have a 1-gate Nexus and a 1-racks command center.
Yeah, interesting. I usually do in my build the Stalker beforehand, but it could have just been the Scout that he got off. He saw that there wasn't a lot of trouble. There was no early gas, so we knew that there wasn't really early pressure per se coming soon. So he's just going to Chrono Boost that Stalker after the Nexus goes down. But yeah, a little bit of an economic advantage there. Third pylon being dropped, and he's a little bit supply locked, but that's okay at this point of the game.
Exactly. We see a gate following up. Pretty standard. Both these players are going to kind of sit back, shake hands and say, "Sir, I will see you in the later game," because neither of these guys are really going to be putting on too much pressure. But it kind of makes for, I barely even want to say the word, but possibly boring, but it definitely sets you up for better late games. And that's what I love in StarCraft. It's the most fun when you see those huge armies. And especially, don't go watch it right now, but Marine King versus TLO, just Google that. There are some crazy attacks in the game. Looks like the Stalker from EXO is poking in here, though, but is going to get hit by the bunker and actually taking just a little bit of hull damage.
Yeah, a tiny bit of miss micro, but not a huge deal. He's going to be able to get those shields back. We do see the Sentry coming out now. 3 gates just finishing up, as well as the 2 barracks that Weaklink went for. So if any builds could be as similar from race to race, I'd say that these 2 builds are almost identical.
Oh, exactly. Getting out your 3 basic unit producing structures. There's actually going to be 4 now on the way for Weaklink, so looked like he got one gas up and going into another rack, going for a very marine-heavy position. Generally, you just get the 3 racks and get 2 gas. And so we'll see what he's here, getting a tech lab, transferring some workers. I mean, they're continuing to produce workers. Looking at the production tab, there is a robo bay on the way, but it looks like this stalker is just trying a little bit of harassment, shooting those Marines who won't be able to get their health back until their friendly medivacs are on the field.
Yeah, exactly, and he's just gonna, like, he knows when Weaklink will leave his base now that he has a stalker out front, and he is gonna get a chance to possibly snipe that SEV. Ooh, oh god, I totally thought that was gonna go down. But we do see a robo facility with a warp prism coming out of it right now from EXO, so it looks like he's gonna try and do some harassment while he's building up in the front of his natural.
You know, this warp prism could actually do a lot of damage. It's done. It just finished right now. If it drops, there's actually a lot of room in the Terran's base to drop where he doesn't have vision quite to the edge, and some zealots in the back, maybe some sentries. I remember you were showing me some stuff with sentries. You can kind of force field off so the SCVs can't run, and you have them in a little arena, and then the zealots just start chopping them up. So that could be pretty well. We'll have to see how it's utilized, but it looks like EXO is moving up here, actually loading into the warp prism with 3 sentries and that zealot.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to do exactly what you were just talking about, probably just drop into the mineral line there and drop a couple of force fields, do some economic damage. We do see the bio ball coming out of the natural here from Weaklink, and the probe advantage from EXO is actually huge right now. He's dropping his 3rd right as I say that, and if he does some decent damage to these SCVs, he could be miles ahead.
Yeah, look at that. The bio ball is way out of position. There's pretty much nothing back here, but it looks like the SCVs were pulled very, very well. Weaklink responding very well to this, and really the only DPS is 3 tickle beams and a zealot. So the bio ball should be able to take care of this without too much in losses.
Yeah, no, that was actually extremely fast timing, and he's just going to run that Warp Prism out. The Warp Prism actually just in range to be shot, I believe, but we do see an engagement going down. Force fields being dropped. EXO should be able to hold here. He's just going to want to focus down those Marauders, and just a Marine army is not going to do a lot of damage. So once that last Marauder is gone, which he's not exactly focusing, he's actually losing a lot more than he thought he would lose here, but he is eventually going to clean it up.
You would expect a bit better control from a top 8 Masters player, as you were saying. A little bit of focus fire there could have helped him a lot. But he is by no means behind in this game. 57 to 56 is the food count right now. 58 to 36 workers, and the 3rd Nexus is about to be done. He's also got the Warp Prism is still just floating right outside the natural for Weaklink.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know if that's the best position for it, but I guess it is just spotting for any potential pushes of this bio army, and he is going to bring it around and wrap it around the natural here, hope to get a little bit more damage done than he did the first time, but that reaction time from Weaklink, that was pretty good. And here comes the drop.
That was really good. Oh, we see the drop here, and looks like he's just going to pick up and run away. That's not the fight he wants, although he's going to see both engineering bays. 1-1 is on the way, but we already see Colossus on the way. Extended thermal lance halfway done, and EXO responding very well, says my enemy is getting upgrades, I need to get upgrades as well. He can drop both forges. The forges will be much later, but with Chrono Boost, if he uses his Chrono Boost and he is paying attention to his upgrades, he will be able to keep the upgrades even for the remainder of this game. But one thing I would like to point out is that Stim hasn't even started yet, and Combat Shields is only halfway done.
Yeah, I was checking it when he first moved out. I was like, is he doing some sort of sim timing? And then saw that it wasn't even started, and then now he's just starting it, so that's not exactly the position he'd like to be in here. He actually needs to move up into some higher tier units. He does have 2 medivacs coming out, but he's going to have to switch over to Vikings pretty quickly, and we do see this Warp Prism just slipping by the bio ball that's coming out to control that watchtower, and look at the worker count right now, 75 to 44. I am expecting quite a few gates to be dropped pretty quickly here. The second Colossus did just come out, and potential push. Right when I say that, yeah, there is 2 actually behind the natural, so I'd expect him to drop, and there's 2 with the... Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, but there is more gates, and a push is going to happen in the story.
This Warp Prism dropping in the main right now, actually avoiding the turret. Now, here we go, force fielding like it's supposed to. Weaklink, who had the amazing reaction time to this game with the first harass, is actually not pulling his workers at all, choosing to fight it out, and it looks like only 1 sentry took a little bit of damage. Warp Prism getting hit. not microing at all, allowing it to get... Oh, the Marines! Nice! Takes that Warp Prism out. Good little
Yeah,
victory there
nice.
for Weaklink.
Small victory, but yeah, he is going to lose the bio ball in the middle of the map. He does have 2 drop ships that are trying to come back and save his army. I don't know what they're doing, and they're just going to get
Uh-oh.
sniped by stalkers. Oh, good
Oh.
God, and this is basically game over for a Weaklink. I have no idea how he can come back from this.
Weaklink, yeah, just losing that bio ball to the Colossus and then losing 2 completely full medevacs for nothing. You lose the medevacs and all the infantry in there. Terran ship plating level 1 actually coming out. I would say that could be a little bit of a waste of money, although when I do max out against Protoss, I do actually get that upgrade because it will help your medevacs and your Vikings survive a little bit longer. Both are expensive units. So yeah, Weaklink, things are really stacked against him right now. We see Blink is almost done. 2-2 is on the way. Templar Archives, more Colossus. ExO is just building this incredible Protoss ball right now, getting really set up for the late game. And his 4th base is established, although not quite mining.
Yeah, that's a very good 4th position, and I really don't know what Weakland can do here. He still hasn't researched Stim, which is a huge blunder on his part. I really think that would help him out. Well, like, he is very behind, and those Colossus are still going to tear through his stuff, but Stim, just like that extra added DPS, is just so huge in small engagements that even just with drop play, that kind of thing, you Stim in, take out a bunch of probes, like, it's pretty huge, but yeah, it looks like he's just deciding against that.
Yeah, you know what? I bet you he's just going to kind of hit his head on the wall at the end of this game, just kind of forgot it. He's probably going to have an engagement and start smashing that T button and freak out when nothing happens. But Weaklink is dropping a command center, being really brave, just kind of dropping on the low ground, choosing not to build in his main and just floating it the 5 feet to the base, but instead doing that, poking out with some Vikings. This can be dangerous, especially because there's Blink. And will he blink? No, he's not going to blink at it, actually. And it looks like... Oh, there we go. Almost gets 1 Colossus, though. And that Colossus is really down to 18 HP.
Sorry to
So that...
interrupt, but see what he's spelling in the middle of the map here?
Yeah, a lot of pylons going down. We'll
Is
have
that
to
what,
see.
UH? UH? Is that a University of Houston? I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm just throwing guesses out. I'm probably slaughtering it right now, but...
Yeah, it's a UH as far as I can tell. I'm not 100% sure
And
what
EXO's
UH
from
is.
Texas, right? So University of Houston, does that make sense? Houston, Texas, big part of
It
Texas.
could. It
I've heard.
could. It could, yeah.
Alright, looks like he is going to push up here. He blinks his stalkers behind and leaves his Colossus completely vulnerable, but Storms are probably going to make the difference here. Just storming his heart out the bio ball. He's actually doing a decent job, but I just think this is too much stuff out of EXO. Yeah, he is just going to storm his way to victory here.
Yeah, it looks like a couple Marauders left that will get cleaned up. The High Templar running in there and doing emotional damage as they have no attack.
Emotional damage.
Besides their sword. And the Colossus Ball just kind of moving in here. Looks like the workers are going to come out, but a storm just makes fun of those poor little workers. And a scan going down. Maybe Weaklink just wanting to see. But look at that, GG, a nice flight GG. And definitely a good game, but we have to say Weaklink, the odds were against him to kind of start out this match.
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely a bit of a one-side match. To be honest with you, I'd like to see... I wonder if Weaklink's used his new name change, because I feel like he just needs some more confidence in this game. First of all, his name is just Weaklink. Like, I feel like I'm insulting every time he's behind, and I'm calling him by that, but he really didn't do that terrible against a Masters player. If he would have had Stim, it would have been a whole different story, I believe, especially at that early... Like, imagine if he did that first timing where he ran with the bio and actually had Stim. I bet he could have just taken out the Gateway Army there. I don't think he would have had... I don't think EXO would have had a chance there, but obviously that would have changed up his build a little bit. But, yeah, Stim is kind of a big deal.
It is a big deal. Losing those 2 medevacs is a big deal as well, and the worker count really kind of spells out how the game went. He was behind generally by about 50%, so things were kind of against him here, but we should be moving on to the next game. Just going to take a quick break and then jump into it.
Yeah, for sure.